guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to customize toms using Angelus brand paints. And so if you're interested in seeing how I got this beach scene, just stay tuned. So we're starting out with just plain white toms, and this is the paint selection I'm going to use. We're going to take magenta, purple, blue, pale blue, orange, tangerine, yellow, and just a little bit of green. We're also going to use flat black and flat white. So we're going to take our flat black, we're going to pour all of our paints in these little glass jars, and this is because aside from the black and the white, we are going to mix all of our colors with GAC 900, and that is going to make the paints soak into the fabric. And not only that, but it's going to keep the fabric nice and flexible, because if you just use the paint straight out, this is like leather paint, so it's going to give the fabric some resistance, and you don't want that. So all we're doing is pouring our inks into these little glass tubes and mixing in, it's about 50-50 GAC to the paint color, and then we're gonna label them. I like to label all my jars. And we're just gonna go ahead and do this for all of them. There we go. So now that we've got that done, we're going to take our toms and we're going to sketch our design on them. Now, since this design is going to be on both shoes, we want to make sure we keep our shoes together so that we can see the design as a whole. The first color we're going to use is yellow. A lot of people like to do yellow last because they find it hard to blend in with the other colors. But we're gonna do it first because I found that this was the easiest way to get it to blend with our darker colors. So I actually went ahead and started with the yellow, and it's not gonna be much yellow. That's pretty much it, all you're seeing now. Now I want to take my other colors. This is tangerine that I'm working with, but as you can see, I'm also going into my yellow as I go, and this is just gonna help me to blend them better if I do it at the same time. So I go into my tangerine, then I go back into my yellow. And this is just gonna get me a nice even blend. As far as the sky, I'm not really doing any particular pattern. I'm just kind of going from the top of my head, or just how I want my sky to look. I want it to look very sunsetty. All the oranges and the pinks and the purples, we're gonna just try to incorporate all of those colors. But the key here is blending. You want to make sure that each color that touches another color blends. Now what I did not do from the beginning, which I should have, is tape the bottom of my shoes. I am going to leave those white, so you definitely want to go ahead and tape those off if you are planning on leaving them white, because for some reason on the toms, it's very, very, very easy for paint to accidentally get on the bottom of the shoes. So you want to make sure you tape them off. The tape that I'm using here isn't that great, but there's some red tape on Angelus Direct that will work perfect on this surface. I just did not have any on hand, so I just used what I had. And as usual, the names of all of these products will be listed in the description box below, as well as a link to purchase all of these products. Once you are satisfied with the amount of one color, you want to go ahead and open your next paint and start blending that with the last color that you just used. But make sure to leave the color that you were just working with open, because you're gonna need to go back into that paint as well to blend. Now, you don't see me rinsing my brush out. Usually you would when you're going from one color to another, but I'm not rinsing my brush out because it's gonna help me to blend these colors together if I still have a little bit of the other paint left in my paintbrush. So you just want to be careful when you're doing this, especially if you plan on saving your paint that are in your little glass jars or whatever you chose to pour them in, because you don't want to essentially cross-contaminate your colors. So just be really careful when not rinsing out your brush. Just finished adding in our magenta. We're going to go into our violet, and we're going to go ahead and speed this process up a little bit because you really don't need to see every single little detail. There is really no science to this. You're just going to put the colors where you see fit that you want to put the colors. Now that we have finished painting our background, we are going to do our detail work on the front, which are our palm trees and our little hammock that's going to go from across one shoe to the next shoe. So I'm using my flat white and a little detail brush. This actually is not an Angelus Direct brush. I can't even tell you where I got this brush from because it's kind of old, but Angelus Direct does sell little tiny detail brushes, so you can check that out. The link will be in the description box below. After we laid down our outline in the white, we're just gonna go on top of that with the colors that we want. Since I'm going for a silhouette type look, I mixed up my brown and my green with flat black, so it looks really dark, but you can still see that it is a palm tree. Now we're ready to take off our tape and see what we got. Looks pretty good. As you can see, there are a few little spots that we need to get rid of. On this surface, it's much easier to just go over the spots with your flat white paint rather than trying to use either acetone or your leather prepare and deglazer, because this isn't leather, so it doesn't exactly wipe off as clean as it would on a leather shoe. So I found that it was way easier to just go ahead and paint over any imperfections with my flat white paint. Now for this part, I'm gonna mix up my GAC 900 and a little bit of flat white paint, because we're gonna paint that little triangle that's on the front, but it is fabric and we do want it to be, it's actually elastic, so we definitely want that part to be stretchy. So we mix that with half part flat white and half part GAC 900, and we're just gonna paint over that just to cover up any imperfections. I did get a few paint spots there, so we want to make sure that is covered up. So this is the design so far. Now we need to do the detailing on the front of our left shoe. So there we have it. I decided to leave the hammock white just because the water had a lot of black mixed in, so I didn't want it to kind of get lost. So that's pretty much it. I did end up going back and adding a second tree on that left shoe, which you'll see in a few clips. Our very last step is going to be to add this water and stain repellent by Angelus Direct. We're just going to spray that right onto the shoe. You want to make sure you spray these good because it's really easy for these shoes to get wet or to get stains on them. So you want to make sure you spray them really good with this spray. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like it if you did like it. And make sure to leave a comment down below about what you liked about this custom and letting me know what you want to see next. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.